Let me paint you a picture of the world we are living in right now. Artificial intelligence is everywhere. It is writing code, diagnosing diseases, generating images, driving cars, translating languages, and making decisions that affect millions of people every single day. The AI revolution is not coming. It is already here. It is already transforming every industry it touches, and by almost every measure, it is accelerating. Now, here is the question that almost nobody in the crypto space is asking loudly enough. Who controls it? Because right now, if you are honest about the answer is deeply uncomfortable. A handful of the most powerful technology corporations on the planet control the most capable AI models. They own the data. They own the compute. They own the infrastructure. They decide what the models can and cannot do. They decide who gets access and on what terms. They decide what guardrails exist and whose interests those guardrails serve. The people who use AI, the billions of individuals, the small businesses, the developers, the researchers, have essentially no say in any of it. They are users of a system they do not own, cannot inspect, cannot verify, and cannot meaningfully influence. Now take everything you know about why crypto was created, the entire philosophical foundation of decentralization, the idea that critical infrastructure should not be controlled by any single entity, that trust should be mathematical rather than institutional. Apply that philosophy to artificial intelligence. What do you get? You get the project we are covering in full depth today. Welcome to Crypto AI Predictor, the channel where we combine real AI-powered analysis with deep fundamental research to bring you crypto coverage that actually means something. If this is your first time here, subscribe right now. Every video on this channel represents serious hours of research and modeling done entirely for this community. Today, OpenGradient, the project building the decentralized infrastructure layer for artificial intelligence. And the price projection our AI model produced for the OG token in this bull run is a number that you are going to want to have heard the full story before I reveal it. So let's tell that story properly. From the very beginning, Section 1, the AI centralization problem. Everything in this video is strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only. Nothing here constitutes financial advice of any kind whatsoever. Our AI-generated price projections are data-driven models. Before we talk about OpenGradient specifically, we need to sit with the problem it is solving, because the depth of that problem is what gives this project its significance. Artificial intelligence, as it currently exists, is built on a foundation of centralization that would be completely unacceptable in any other critical infrastructure context. Think about what it means for an AI model to be centralized. The company that owns the model controls what data it was trained on, and that training data shapes everything the model believes. The company controls the model's parameters, the actual mathematical weights that determine how it thinks. The company controls the inference infrastructure, and the company controls the API, the gateway through which every developer and every user accesses the model's capabilities. This means that when you use a centralized AI, when you ask it a question, when you use it to make a decision, you are completely trusting that company's intentions. If the company decides to change the model's behavior, you have no recourse. If the company gets hacked and the model is compromised, you have no way to verify it. If the company goes out of business or decides to shut down the API, everything you built on top of it disappears overnight. But AI is increasingly being used for high-stakes decisions, medical diagnoses, financial analysis, legal research. The idea that these are black boxes is genuinely alarming. OpenGradient was founded on the conviction that this does not have to be the case, that AI infrastructure can be decentralized, transparent, and verifiable. Section 2. What is OpenGradient? The full explanation. OpenGradient is a decentralized AI network that provides the infrastructure for training AI models. The project's mission is to do for artificial intelligence what Ethereum did for financial contracts: take something centralized and make it open and verifiable. OpenGradient achieves this through several interconnected components that together form a complete decentralized AI infrastructure stack. The first component is the model registry, a decentralized repository where AI models can be stored, versioned, and accessed by anyone. Models registered on OpenGradient are stored on decentralized infrastructure with cryptographic verification. You can verify the model you are running is exactly what was registered. The second component is the compute network, a decentralized network of compute providers who offer their hardware resources for AI model inference and training. Instead of being dependent on a single cloud provider, OpenGradient distributes AI computation across a network, creating a resilient and censorship-resistant compute layer. The third component is the inference verification system, perhaps the most technically sophisticated part. This allows users to verify that an AI inference was actually run correctly. This is the component that makes the whole system trustless, genuinely verifiable in terms of what the infrastructure actually did. The OG token powers all of these components, as payment for compute, as incentive for model contributors, and as the economic backbone of the entire network. Section 3. The technical innovation, verifiable AI inference. This concept deserves its own deep dive because it is the technical heart of OpenGradient. The fundamental challenge in decentralized AI is this: how do you prove that a computation was performed correctly without having to rerun it yourself? In a centralized system, you simply trust the provider, but trust is not a cryptographic guarantee. It is a social one, and social guarantees fail. In blockchain, this is solved for financial transactions. But AI model inference is orders of magnitude more computationally complex. You cannot have every validator rerun it. OpenGradient's approach draws on advances in cryptographic proof systems, specifically zero-knowledge proofs and optimistic execution frameworks. In practical terms, this means that when an AI model runs, a cryptographic proof of the computation's correctness is generated alongside the output. Anyone who wants to verify that the inference was run correctly can check the proof without having to rerun the entire model. The verification is fast, cheap, and mathematically certain. This is a genuine technical breakthrough for the decentralized AI space. It transforms AI on blockchain from a marketing claim into a real architectural guarantee. Section 4. The OG token. How value flows through the ecosystem. Let's break down the economics in detail. The primary demand driver for OG is compute payment. Every AI inference that runs on the OpenGradient network requires OG tokens as payment to the compute providers. As the network's usage grows, as more developers build on OpenGradient, as more AI applications route their inference through the decentralized network, the demand for OG as compute payment grows proportionally. This is genuine, structural, usage-driven demand. Researchers and developers who register high-quality AI models on OpenGradient's decentralized registry earn OG rewards when those models are used. This creates a marketplace dynamic where the best models attract the most usage and therefore generate the most OG rewards for their creators, incentivizing a constant flow of high-quality model contributions into the ecosystem. Entities that want to offer compute services on the OpenGradient network must stake OG tokens as collateral. This stake serves as an economic guarantee of honest behavior. As the network grows and compute demand increases, the demand for OG staking grows with it, removing supply from circulation. The fourth demand driver is governance participation. OG holders vote on critical protocol decisions like fee structures and network parameters. As OpenGradient becomes important infrastructure for decentralized AI applications, governance rights over its parameters become strategically valuable to the organizations and developers who depend on it. These demand drivers create a structure where growth in protocol usage directly and structurally drives demand for the token. That is fundamental alignment. Section 5. The convergence of two supercycles, AI and crypto together. Here is the macro thesis that makes OpenGradient one of the most compelling opportunities our AI model has analyzed in this cycle, and I want to spend time on this because it is genuinely important. The AI supercycle is the most obvious one. ChatGPT crossed 100 million users faster than any technology in history. It is a fundamental restructuring. The crypto supercycle is the one this channel focuses on. Bitcoin at new all-time highs. Institutional adoption through ETFs. On-chain activity growing across multiple ecosystems. The infrastructure for a decentralized financial internet maturing from experimental to functional to genuinely scalable. These two supercycles are on a collision course, and the projects at their intersection are positioned to benefit from both simultaneously. OpenGradient is not a crypto project that added AI branding. It is not an AI project that added a token for fundraising. It is a project that was architected from the beginning to exist exactly at the intersection of these two supercycles, built on blockchain infrastructure, solving genuine AI problems with token economics designed for the specific dynamics of a decentralized AI marketplace. When the market fully understands this positioning, when this becomes the dominant narrative, projects like OpenGradient do not just participate, they lead it. Section 6. Real-world applications. Who builds on OpenGradient and why? Let's make the OpenGradient thesis concrete by looking at who actually uses this infrastructure and why, because real use cases are what separate lasting projects from narrative plays. DeFi protocols are natural users. AI-powered risk models and liquidity management are increasingly built into DeFi infrastructure, but DeFi needs trustlessness. But DeFi is built on trustlessness. Introducing a centralized AI component into a trustless financial protocol is a philosophical contradiction and a security vulnerability. OpenGradient solves this by making the AI component itself trustless and verifiable. DAOs want to use AI for proposal analysis and governance support. OpenGradient's verifiable inference allows DAOs to use these tools without compromising decentralization. Gaming and metaverse applications need AI for non-player character behavior, dynamic world generation, and personalized experiences. On-chain games that want to use AI for these purposes need AI infrastructure that is compatible with their on-chain architecture. And that means decentralized verifiable AI inference rather than calls to centralized APIs. Healthcare and research applications that need to use sensitive data for AI inference are increasingly interested in privacy-preserving decentralized alternatives to centralized cloud AI. OpenGradient's architecture allows AI to run on data without centralizing that data with a single provider. Each of these use cases generates OG token demand. Each one is a growing market, and each one represents a category where OpenGradient's specific technical properties, trustlessness, verifiability, censorship resistance, are not just nice-to-haves, but genuine requirements. Section 7. The competitive landscape and OpenGradient's differentiation. The decentralized AI space has attracted significant attention and significant competition. Projects like Binance, Fetch.ai, and Render Network are all operating in adjacent spaces. Let's be clear about where OpenGradient sits relative to these alternatives. Binance focuses on creating a marketplace for AI model outputs and intelligence. It is a decentralized machine learning network, but with different architectural priorities than OpenGradient's focus on verifiable inference. Fetch.ai focuses on autonomous agents. Render Network focuses on decentralized GPU compute. Both are different layers of the stack. OpenGradient's unique differentiation is the combination of three things that no other project has assembled in the same way: decentralized model registry, decentralized compute network, and cryptographic inference verification. The third element, verifiable inference, is the technical innovation that makes OpenGradient uniquely positioned for use cases where trustlessness is a hard requirement rather than a preference. Verifiable inference is the technical innovation that makes OpenGradient uniquely positioned for use cases where trustlessness is a hard requirement. In a market that is increasingly focused on the combination of AI and blockchain infrastructure, having a genuinely differentiated technical architecture rather than just a different marketing angle is the most durable competitive advantage a project can have. OpenGradient has that differentiation, and our AI model weighted it heavily in the analysis. Section 8. The AI model analysis and the projection. Our prediction model ran OpenGradient through the complete analytical framework. Let me walk you through the key signals. The narrative convergence signal came in at one of the highest levels the model has registered. This is arguably the defining narrative of the next bull market phase. The technical differentiation signal was strongly positive. The model evaluated the uniqueness and defensibility of OpenGradient's verifiable inference architecture compared to alternatives, and found that the combination of model registry, compute network, and cryptographic verification represents a genuinely differentiated technical stack that is not easily replicated. The token utility depth signal scored OG highly for its multi-layered demand structure, compute, incentives, staking, and governance, creating distinct demand vectors. The comparable project benchmark signal analyzed the performance of decentralized AI infrastructure tokens in previous and current cycle phases. looking at market cap trajectories of projects with similar fundamental profiles during bull market conditions and calibrating what those comparables imply for OG's price ceiling. The developer ecosystem signal measured the rate of developer interest and tooling adoption, a leading indicator of future transaction volume. Every signal was aligned: strong narrative, differentiated technology, deep token utility, favorable comparables, growing developer adoption. And the model's output was clear. For OpenGradient, in a continued bull market scenario where the AI crypto convergence narrative reaches full momentum, $3. For a token trading well below that level right now, a move to $3 represents a multiple on current prices that is genuinely significant. The model's confidence in this target is grounded specifically in the comparables analysis. Decentralized AI infrastructure tokens with comparable technical differentiation and ecosystem growth trajectories have previously reached market caps that imply exactly this price level for OG given its current supply structure, $3. That is the projection, built on the data, the comparables, the narrative analysis, and the fundamental deep dive we have done together today. We started this video asking who controls AI. We walked through why it matters, how OpenGradient works, its token economics, and the macro narrative. $3. That is the number. And now you have the full context to evaluate that projection for yourself. That is exactly what this channel is built to do. Not just give you a price target, give you everything you need to understand why that price target exists and how to think about it intelligently every single video. And the one thing we ask in return is that you support this channel by hitting subscribe right now. It is completely free. It takes 2 seconds. Subscribe. Leave us a comment. What do you think about the intersection of AI and crypto? Are you following the decentralized AI space? What projects in this category are on your radar? We read every comment and they shape what we cover next. More AI-powered analysis is coming. Projects at the frontier of what is building in this cycle, the ones the crowd has not found yet. Be subscribed when those drop. This is Crypto Eye Predictor. We find the convergence. We analyze the signal. We share it with you. See you in the next one.